City Council regular meeting to order for August the 4th, 2026, City Hall. Roll call, Mark.
Here.
Alicia.
Here.
Sean.
Here.
Brad Smith.
Here.
Larry.
Here.
Ashley.
Here.
Brad Simmons.
Here.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the audience. Please join me with roll call with invocation with Alicia and the Pledge of Allegiance with Sean.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this day, Lord, that you've given each and every one of us, Lord. I just thank you and praise you for all our blessings. Lord, we just ask that you watch over us and guide us as we make decisions for our community, Lord. We just give you all the praise and the glory. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies. Item 3, additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda. Seeing none. Item 4, discuss and or approve following meeting minutes, June the 16th, 2026, regular meeting minutes.
Motion to approve June 16th regular meeting.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Sean. Any discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Motion carries. July the 7th, 2026, regular meeting minutes. Motion by Alicia. Second by
Second.
Brad. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. July 21st, 2026, budget workshop meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Sean,
Second.
seconded by Alicia. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Item number 5. First reading of ordinance 363, penalties of late utility bills payments. Larry and or
So at the last meeting, there was a discussion about a little bit more forgiveness on the due dates. So it'll be an ordinance of the City Council of Moorhaven, Florida, amending Chapter 115-19.5 and Section 115-21, late payment penalty charges and date, providing authority to codify, providing severability and effective date.
I just want to make a comment first. Now that I've had time to think about it, I think we should extend, I'm fine with this, but we have to remember that we're also a business. And I don't believe that Verizon or CenturyLink or DirecTV calls the member and says, hey, sorry you didn't get your bill in the mail, but, we'll give you an extra 3 or 4 days. So I just want to remind the board that these things are set in place for a reason. That said, I'll make the motion to approve it.
any further discussion?
I need a second.
We need a second.
Second.
Seconded by Brad, that we approve reading of ordinance 363. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, no. Me. So 4-1. Discussion concerning Chapter 115, utilities, electricity, and history of electric rates and service provided by the City of Moorhaven.
Okay, chapter 115 of our ordinances cover the utilities and in particular electricity. Just want to kind of give an update on what's happening with rates and everything else that's changed in the on the electric side. There is a section 115.9 in the ordinance. It's entitled commercial services. Now that was established a while ago, and basically a commercial unit is general service demand rates shall apply if the measure So if that is the case, then there's a separate rate schedule for general service demand. We did ordinance 350 back in 2022. It did update the rates for the general service along with other rates. So we do have demand meters. I think we counted it, we have 32 demand meters that are in place throughout the city. And they do, those meters get read, and they are set up for ensuring, ensuring that rate structure is in place for those, for the demand meters. In early 2022, the council basically directed staff to look at the electric rates and bring back alternatives for rate increases, since there had not been one since October 2005. So we contacted the Florida Municipal Power Agency, FMPA, for assistance, because they provide assistance to all the 33 municipal public electric utilities in the state of Florida. So they did provide several alternatives. We came back before the council, and the council selected about a 7% option for the increase of the electric rates. And we enacted ordinance number 350 to implement those rates. It had a first reading on May 17th and a second reading on June 7th. Also, FMPA, once the ordinance is passed, FMPA attorney prepared the required filings with the Florida Public Service Commission for review and approval by the Public Service Commission. That's one of the services they do provide. And then the last package that I laid there, the last thing was the official approval by the Florida Public Service Commission for those rates. So that's basically the process that we have to go through for when we change electric rates. We have to go through that process. So if there's, I know there's been maybe some discussion on what if, electric rates need to get updated again. But like I said, we would have to basically go through that same process where we would have, the council direct us to get a hold of the FMPA or whoever else, or FMPA, they're another agency that would do those rate studies that could be, or which are the grounds for following the Florida Public Service Commission to get it approved. So like I said, we do have 32 demand meters in place. The school district had 2 that have been the school admin building. That demand meter had been in place since 2002, and the high school big meter had been that demand meter and been in place since 2014. So there were 2 new ones that came up recently. The one for the electric bus barn, which that meter went in place in August of 2024, and the new elementary school that went in place in February of 2026. So it outlined the history of what's happened and how those meters got set up. So like I said, I don't know if there's any further questions or discussion on those rates.
So you got 4, the school's got 4 out of 32?
Yes. Actually, that would be 30 because two of the places are vacant right now. So that means they're in place, but they're covered under the demand, but the property.
Okay. Anybody got any questions for Larry? Okay, thank you, Larry. Larry, back to that. So even if we wanted to change it, we couldn't change it without FMPA and or,
We would have to go back and,
Do the rate study.
to authorize us to go to FMPA to do a rate study. And, and in that rate study, you'd have to have them go through that process and come back with what we could change, what rates we could change and like I said, we'd have to give them some direction. For example, if we wanted to change, drastically change any rates, for example, the rates are shown on the sheet there for that, if we would, change how much difference between residential, commercial, that kind of thing. But we'd have to give them some broad scope, I guess, to work on that, and then they would come back with different options. So if you do follow through and do a rate increase, we'd have to do an ordinance, like we did in the ordinance 350 back in June of 2022, to increase those rates, and then once that ordinance was passed, then it could be presented to the Public Service Commission for approval.
thank you, Larry.
This rate study is only about 4 years old. We have ordinance that we haven't even looked at in 20 years. I think that if we go back and do a rate study, you're not gonna like what we find on that rate study. Personal opinion. So that's just what I have to say about that.
Yeah. How much is it to do an ordinance now? Just a rough estimate.
How much?
If we were gonna change the ordinance, what would it cost us?
You'd have to do a rate study to be able to change the,
Well,
I know.
FMPA offers their services gratis, correct?
We have a contract with them,
Mhm. Yeah, we pay them.
But would we have our engineer?
our yearly contract. They wouldn't, they would do the rate study because that's in their realm of things that they perform for all the municipal electric authorities in the state.
So we wouldn't need to get the electrical engineer
No,
involved?
no.
I mean, the cost would be minimal.
Okay. I mean, $2,000-3,000?
Probably less than that.
Okay.
Typically though, what would be the time period between rate studies reasonably?
Yeah. Once we went them, it probably in a probably 3 months or so, they could probably do complete the rate study. And what they would do is come back with, like they did the last time, come back with different parameters, different percentages, get that kind of thing to
I meant typically though,
Yeah.
between periods of the rate study, like 5 years, 10 years, less, if you know.
I don't know that there is a specified period, that's kind of a local determination, how often you want to go back and do the rate study. But like I said, I think we learned with some of our other rates, we're trying to make sure that we do them on a more timely basis, because the longer you wait, you're probably saving, having to increase the rates, but the problem is the longer you wait, when you do have a rate increase, it's going to be a fairly large one. It's a lot harder for everybody to plan on and accommodate. So
Mhm.
Since we had recently entered into a new FPL contract, do you think it would be appropriate to look at a rate study to consider those rates that went into effect?
those, the rate study, I mean, the new contract we entered into with them,
Would it have an effect that we would need to do a rate
have any effect because it's, because it should not have.
based upon the cost of the fuel it takes.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Report of officers, city manager.
I don't think I have anything else. I have anything for you.
Larry. City attorney.
Person who alleged that they were injured when they were riding their bike. And I think the mayor was served earlier today, but that's something that PRM would handle for us. So I asked Ashley to go ahead and send it to our insurance carrier for their review because they typically would handle everything on that. So I don't know if the person was even in the city limits at the time.
They were on the overpass, which is DOT property.
So, but still, it should be handled by the insurance carrier. So that's all I have.
Does anybody have anything for Steve? Ashley?
I don't have anything.
Anybody have anything for Ashley? Bradley Simmons.
We did receive the tractor from John Deere, did that shop. Everything, we're just coming off a meter reading cycle, so we're gonna catch up on some mowing and weeds, stuff like that. We'll coming back in session next week, we're gonna hit the sidewalks and make sure everything's gonna tidy up like that. Cut gauged and all that kind of good stuff. That's all I've got.
All right, does anybody got anything for Brad? Okay, thank you, Brad. Item 8, approval of the bills in the amount of $51,204.69.
68 cents.
68 cents.
I make a motion. Second.
Motion by Sean, seconded by Alicia to approve the bills. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Number 9, citizen comments, general concern, speakers are limited to 3 minutes.
Who's my time? I'm late. Don't know, I'll read the minutes when Mr. Larry put them up there for number 5, number 6. So my apologies for being late. So you will know also, utility rates survey, they're usually done 3 to 5 years. So there's that. So if you did it 4 years ago, you're probably coming up on the next time you want to do it, just because typically you do them every 3 to 5, so that if they go up, it's not hard on your constituents. And I only know that because I had to work with City of Tallahassee whenever we did it every 3 to 5. Just letting you know. Thank you again. I just want to say thank you again to Mr. Laird for coming to the school board to help us understand. And just for clarity's sake, I'm not asking for the rates to be changed on the demand. What we were asking for was a waiver of some sort of the demand fee. So I'm not saying that we want the rates to change. I don't know what was communicated. Like I said, I apologize that I was late, but we could never ask intended. Sometimes isn't the message received. We were asking for your leniency of some sort on the demand portion, because we knew we couldn't do anything with the PAC and we knew we couldn't do anything with the actual energy, but there was some flexibility, we thought, with the waiver of some of the demand. So we didn't ask for, let me say this clearly so everybody can hear. The school, Nicole, is not asking for a rate change for the demand. We're only asking for some sort of waiver until we get back to financial stability. From everybody knows, everybody can read, we're under financial emergency, right? Where our fund balance is below the 3%. If you all allow us to waive it, whatever that amount is, if it can be waived to a certain degree, 15%, 10%, something, so that we can get out of where we are to get back to good footing, it would help us greatly. So that's where I was coming from. Like I said, came in on the tail end, not sure if we're actually having conversation about the demand rates, but we weren't asking for that to be changed. We were just asking for the waiver.
Okay.
And I did that under 3 minutes, Clay.
You did.
Nice.
All right, next.
Can I go from here?
Yeah, come up to the podium.
Hello guys, my name is Juan Martinez. I'm a business owner here in Moore Haven for the last 10 years. I'm here because I'm interested in the marina. I do see that you guys started this in 2010. I know the building that you guys have over there has been empty for the last few months, few years. And I'm interested in bringing back the activity to the area. Originally, I was intended to lease the building from you guys, but after thinking about it, I would like to ask the city to consider allow me to operate the marina as the whole thing, including the building, the boat ship, and the storage area. I believe there's a lot of potential there. I'm interested in operating the business from the business building, taking care of the property. I put it together. Before I can put a proposal together, I would like to understand the marina current situation. I would like to know what will be included in all the information. All the numbers are very important in order for me to give you guys a proposal, a formal proposal. I'm not asking you for a decision tonight. I'm simply asking for information. And if the city will be willing to sit down with me and discuss whatever options do I have. If the number is, I'll be willing to put a proposal and discuss a fair rent or an arrangement to benefit both the city and the business. I think the waterfront is one of the best assets that Moore Haven do have. And I believe there is a lot of opportunities to do good for Moore Haven Arena. Thank you.
Juan, would you want to bring it back to like a complete like shop and all in there, or?
That's one of the ideas that we want to bring not only bake shop, but some other. I've been in business for 10 years and I noticed that a lot of the people passing through, especially in the afternoon, they don't have a lot of options, which I believe that it's a lot of money that we are letting go because we don't care.
Capture on it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of potential, like I said, but we do need a lot of work to do. And if I'm willing to spend my money, I will have to have some kind of form very structured as how long would the lease be? I'm not gonna put my money into something that you guys are gonna give me 1 year.
Right.
So that is one of the problems that we can probably have a solution for it together.
Okay.
far as the long-term picture, we've been planning to extend the seawall another 500 feet out into the Coonsahatchee. We have, in this past legislative session, we got about half of the money from the state in a grant to do it. We're trying to get the legislature to approve the other half in this upcoming thing, but that's more of a longer term, thing. But that's the idea is that once we get the seawall extended, we probably there'll probably be some future development on a bigger scale for the marina. But between in the short term, that that's not going to happen for some time in the short term. I don't know that we have usage planned for it. I do know the Granger group that purchased the other parcels across from the marina there. They are coming by again tomorrow to continue talking about that project. But again, that's a long-term project. So
What's the timing on the grant that we were provided?
the one we just have,
The one that just was approved, yeah.
that was just, we're just now doing the grant agreement, so it's probably going to be probably another 6 to 8 months to get a grant agreement and get moving on it, kind of thing. So it's probably a couple of years.
My personal opinion is Juan's been a trusted business owner in our town for
Yeah.
over 10 years. Him back on making the marina what it could be now on hopes that someone is gonna come in
Yeah.
and do this when all they're not giving us anything to stand on as of yet. So I would like for one, if you'll sit down with Mr. Tibbs, y'all can kind of punch some numbers. You can explain to him how we kind of worked it. I know the two that were in there were different situations. And then maybe come back to us with a proposal.
You're probably though gonna have to do another request for qualifications at
Mhm.
least, so it'd have to be bid out
Right,
to allow other people the opportunity as well. I think, and I've said it a few times, you could actually start the docks now because you have the grant coming and you can use capital money to finish the docks. And then you have more of a money-making entity, so to speak,
right.
that can tie in with the marina. Whether you choose to wait or not wait, I mean, that's y'all's prerogative, but you don't have to wait 2 years to do all this and get it at least productive at some point, regardless of who would put a proposal in. Because I think that if it's done the right way, obviously, it would bring a lot more income to the city, regardless of who's operating. So, but in terms of if there is an interest at this point to do that, we're going to have to do a proposal. So everybody has a chance to bid because it's been several years.
I mean, they're lining up out there to lease.
Well, and that could very well be that you just get one applicant. But if you don't, if there's no incentive because you're just talking about 8 docks there versus what you could have, that's, take it for what it's worth. But
Okay,
I'll pull the RFQ then.
yeah,
Get a proposal on the part.
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, I mean, I would meet with Larry and Lisa, and that way y'all can start playing some numbers. That way, when it gets time to go out, you're ready.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. I'm a Glades County resident for the last 35 years. And I'm trying to put a trailer on a property that I have to replace a trailer that burned up accidentally back in November. And because of the setbacks, I am over 6 foot and I want to ask for variance.
there's an application process. This is for within the city limits.
Yes,
There's a variance application that you would need to fill out.
Okay.
And would then go to our planner. Planner would review it and then comment. Typically, if a variance was caused by a hardship outside of your control, that's something to be considered as opposed to a man-made, so to speak, condition. So you have the
I
application.
gave her a copy of it.
Okay, so you have to go through that process in order to get it. Then it'll come back before the city council on your application.
yes. And I talked to the city the other day. They told me about the application and the $1,000
Mhm.
application fee. And I tried to get another trailer and it was too small. So this is not my first,
Right,
I'm trying.
Right.
But I have to stay in my budget as well.
Right.
When would be the next meeting so I can bring it in?
well, no, you got to do the application, pay the fee. It'll go to our planner. The planner will review it. We can ask him to expedite it. I understand your situation. And then comment. He usually sends me and Mr. Tibbs his comments and we dialogue with him first to make sure there's no other issues
Mhm.
before it comes back before the council, and then they would approve or not approve, so to speak.
Okay, I'll call.
So yeah, the
Steve.
quicker you get it in, the quicker it'll get processed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, what's your name, by the way?
Stephanie Dominguez,
And what's the address of the property?
817 8th Street.
Mr. Murphy?
How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
I've got a church on 600 Avenue C. And I'm wanting to, we've outgrown the sanctuary and we want to build. But the only way we can build is I've got to do some changing around. The building has been Mr. and Mrs. Brown had it as a resident. And then it was put in as a Spanish church and then another church had it. And then we bought the property. And now we found out that we've got to have some, special exemption. We filled out the papers, I think last week, my wife come up and done it. We're asking if maybe we could waive this, put it like it needs to be so we can start our building program. We bought another piece of property straight across the road and we've tied both of those properties in. So it would equally be enough room for parking and the ability of growth right there.
The problem you have is with the special exception application, it has to go through a public hearing process. And it's a two-step public hearing process. Again, it's more or less the same format. It goes first to the planner, the planner reviews, then it'll get set for public hearing. Now, we can expedite somewhat because the city council sits as the local planning agency. So it could be done prior to a regularly scheduled meeting. And then the city council would approve or hear the application at that same night's meeting. So to try to expedite things, but that's the step process and we can't vary from that because legally, when you put one of these in, just like a rezoning or a variance, it has to have public hearing because theoretically it could get challenged and we have to give the opportunity for somebody who may want to challenge that particular application. So that's the process itself. We could ask the planner also to expedite. And then more or less go from there. So
Bill's been there for 20 years.
I know, yeah, I understand. Unfortunately, though, the process is the process legally. And if we bypass that process, then equally it could be challenged. Or then the next time somebody else comes in and they want special consideration, you just can't do it like that, unfortunately. So we'll try to do the best we can to get it through, but it's multiple steps.
So now we gotta get this set up. What I need
Did you
to do
already-
my next step.
Did you already turn in the application? Okay.
Got that. Ashley's got that.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you send it?
I told them to come in here and talk to you guys first because they have been a church for so long. So I didn't know if there was something
Yeah.
previous that might have before zoning changed or anything like that. And I didn't want to charge them the fee and then it'd be grandfathered in of some sort. So I wanted to make sure
Well-
before I charged them the fee, just like I directed Ms. Dominguez to come to the meeting first too.
To me, the question would be more if you send it to the planner or myself. If for some reason it doesn't need it, then that would be a way to bypass the fee. But you have to technically take it with the fee. And then if it turned into something that we don't think it needs to be, then we can always go back.
Okay.
But,
It's gotta go to the planner.
but yeah, we have to look at it first
Okay.
before we can get to it. Yeah. So we'll look at, we'll try to keep it.
So
Quick.
I need to come to the next
And if for some
Y'all let
reason-
me, or how do you- what do I need to do?
Well, no, not yet. We'll let you know. But if the planner says you don't need a special exception because of the history of the use of the property, then that's perhaps a way to bypass all that. But I can't speak to it. That's why we have a planner.
So if you don't mind me interjecting, I'm Joseph. I
He's
did
on
speak
my
to the
board.
planner, Jason Utley, and he wrote me an email and said that his recommendation was that we did a special exception, but he also said that we didn't have to accept that, so that's why we come here.
Well, but this is the first I'm hearing about it, so that's the problem.
So,
So
we
did
would
y'all
just
get a
wanna see
letter
if we
from
can
Jason?
forego that.
No, I didn't even know about this. So no.
Being
So
that it was a church of 15 years,
I-
we want to see if you could forego that.
understand, but the problem is you gotta get your process right first.
Right.
Because you have helter skelter going on already, hence by what's going on at this meeting. File the application, it's filed, pay the fee, it gets sent to us, we'll review it, and then we'll go from there. If there's a way, we don't want to make people have to go through the process if they don't have to, if it's legally not required, but I have to follow that format to protect the city.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm Bobby,
Is that it?
Fisherman's Village. I'm just following up on the June 16th meeting of the ordinance 321 about the Jake breaks. have we done anything, whatever we can do
DOT's
to
hands.
eliminate this violation of the code?
I wasn't paying attention. What's this?
About
The
Jake breaks.
breaks.
The Jake breaks.
And we talked about it June 16th, that some of us thought there were signs up there, but they haven't been there for years.
Yeah, I made a mistake. There was not signs.
Yes, that's,
So-
you know, we all make mistakes, but are we doing anything? Do we have some?
Larry,
signs
have you-
coming?
Have
It does say in the ordinance that the city will maintain the legible signs at the borders of the city limits.
Well, they're FDOT's roads though, so we have to wait for their approval to put them back up because they're the one who moved them.
Oh, they're removed.
Mhm.
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah, live under the meter.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so where do we go from there? We have to wait for the state?
Call them and complain.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
We can't put signs at the foot of the
We
bridge.
can't put, we are not allowed to, I mean, we have it in the ordinance that we would maintain.
Yeah, but if they have jurisdiction over the road and they have, because they took them down, the same thing's gonna happen. But if you can start, you start
So who
being,
would I have to find out that had them taken down and say, why'd you take them down when it's against our ordinance?
would it be still Bartow?
I can try to contact, there's actually a new representative that just took over a part of the FDOT stuff.
Oh.
And he's usually pretty responsive. I don't know if he would be over that section, but I can email him and see what I can find out.
Okay, otherwise it was just wasted effort and the local ordinance is just a file in a drawer. And that's kind of wasted effort. In my little time, what he had said about the improvements at the Marina Drive property, I've had some people ask me to bring up the fact that, and for the past 5 years that I've been there, we always had at least 1 or 2 vessels out there, and we've generated revenue from them. Last year, we went from $500 to $800, and this year we have no revenue. And the people who were using that are saying that's the reason, because they don't want to pay it. Because they thought it was unfair that we raised the rate with no more amenities. And if that is an issue that maybe we need to go review, maybe because all the other businesses are suffering too. They're not getting revenue for food and, you know, use of their businesses. So if we were stuck on that $800 a month, or can we review it? So anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. All right, mayor and council to give reports. Ms. Crosky, Ms. Beck,
I'm good.
Mr. Decker.
Brad, do we have any timeline of when we're gonna get some of these high lots? Them, just high grass?
Nobody really, some of the letters that get sent out, code enforcement, nobody answers them, nobody sends them back, they go unanswered or whatever. We can start cutting them, but we'll have to start putting on. We cut them ourselves, we go to build and put a lien on our property, you know. So we have to do it. But we have made documentation, at City Hall here to charge if you to put a lien on the property, whatever we need to do.
Somebody's gonna get lost in them or so. I suppose.
There's 2 on Avenue R that you could bale, we could bale the hay and sell it and make the money back.
That's just like that Granger group over there,
That's high too, yeah.
we don't have. We've got a brand new tractor and stuff, but do I have manpower to put over there 3 days worth of mowing, you know, that's.
Well, some of these lots that are in.
Yeah, some of these lots, and Mark's right, some of these lots, I just soon mow them and put a lien or something. We can't, it's rough, it's bad.
That's what he's saying. It is-
Summertime, there's so many of them, I just about had to hire somebody else to go mow.
Yeah. We have to contract it out to compare to our employees.
Well, you mowed them a couple times, Brad.
It was all of them, you know, not all of them you're talking about, to catch up with everything. That Granger group property right there is 3 days worth of mowing. I mean, it's at least 2 for sure. It's not cheap. We're gonna be out that money because nobody's ever gonna pay it.
Does she send them a letter
That's just it.
It's
Are
Didn't
we-
Larry just
are
say
we-
they're coming in next week?
tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
So-
Tomorrow.
But there again, are we writing letters? Or is code enforcement writing the people letters? Or are they?
They're on your code.
Yeah.
I don't think the ones I saw.
I don't think the ones I saw either.
I know they.
The thing though is that when you send a letter and it gets returned, you still can process it. And then get court authority to do what you gotta do. This way you've got it all set up legally, not just say, well, we didn't get service. So,
Does she need to
so
send
we'll
them-
forget it.
She needs to send
she
those
needs-
return letters back to
she
you or make a
needs-
document.
She
changing
needs
it.
to follow it up, so this way it gets set. I mean, if she doesn't do that, then I don't know about it, then it doesn't go anywhere like we're talking about. I mean, it's pretty common in code enforcement land. You send out notices and people don't show up, don't get them, whatever. I mean, that's, you gotta just deal with it, so. And if you have a property that's not homestead, because it's vacant, you lien the property, and if they don't pay the lien, then you, guess what? They lose the property. Homestead's a different story,
Mhm.
so.
All this ones
Well,
are,
that's what needs to be done.
they're vacant.
I mean, here we go again.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been fighting it. One more thing that nobody followed up on.
So I got-
Brad, you got anything?
I did, but Mark, yes. Good.
I'm good too. I ain't discussing the financial statement.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Sean, seconded by Alicia. All in favor? Opposed?
Tidings to you,